Dingoos, good morning. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. We are switching it up here at Dingo Crypto. Now we are doing longer news episodes once a week. So we're going to be doing Bitcoin segment, Ethereum segment, and then altcoin segment. And then I do have a Dingle token segment at the end as well for your Dingle token holders out there, right? So we're going to be doing this once a week. It's going to be a longer news episode. I'm going to cut it up in clips for you guys. If you guys don't want to stay tuned for the whole 40, probably 35 to 40 minute episode that I'm going to be doing right now. So I mean, yeah, let's just jump right into it. First, we're going to start off with the Bitcoin news, and we're going to leave a comment on how you like this, rather than having 10-minute crypto news episodes every single day, doing once a week, and actually giving you guys more valuable episodes during the week of how to do this, protocol reviews, X, Y, and Z, right? So instead of putting my time into crypto news every single day, I kind of want to provide more value to you guys. So that's a plan. If you like this better, leave a comment. I would appreciate that. But anyways, let's just jump right into some Bitcoin price action. Look at this. Looking okay, guys. Looking okay for sure. I mean, the 20-week moving average, once again, I am a believer in this bull cycle. We will touch this 20-week moving average once again, guys. Once again, we will eventually come in contact with this 20-week moving average, whether that's the 20-week moving average slowly coming up and meeting the price. That would be ideal, because if we break down and touch the 20-week moving average, I do think it's less likely to see the 20-week moving average as support and see a nice little bounce out off of that, right? And once we break the 20-week moving average, unfortunately, if we close the candle under the 20-week moving average, it's the end of the bull cycle, guys. It's the end of the bull cycle. That's how I'm playing it, and I think everybody in crypto is playing it the same. The whole market, I mean, there's a lot of nice altcoin plays right now, like Anchor up 141% in the last 7 days, guys. These are not small caps. This is the top 100, right? So this is hundreds of millions of dollars moving into tokens, right? These are not small plays. These are not small plays. So a lot of money still moving around in crypto for sure, for sure. A lot of people were talking about options expiring this last Friday will be very bullish. And I personally had a crypto news episode saying, hey, I don't think derivatives really have much to play on the price action of Bitcoin at this point in time. I know if Bitcoin gets larger and derivative markets get larger for Bitcoin, they will probably play a role in price action for Bitcoin, like they do in silver and gold and other commodities, right? So and a lot of other asset classes. So like GameStop price was suppressed by shorts, silver suppressed by shorts, gold suppressed by shorts. A lot of assets in the world are suppressed by derivatives, and I don't think Bitcoin's at that stage where it's very suppressed. I mean, a lot of people were saying this is very bullish, guys. Hey, I didn't think it would play much of a price action. And I don't think it did play much into the price action, guys. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think derivatives play much into the narrative of short-term price appreciation of Bitcoin. I don't play with that. I don't play around with that one. But anyways, New Zealand retirement fund reportedly allocates 5% to Bitcoin, guys. So once again, game theory is at play. Pension funds are going to start adding Bitcoin, especially if this pension fund does well and sees high return. And once one adopts, like a pension fund adopts Bitcoin, other pension funds will definitely follow, and this goes all the way to sovereign wealth fund. I mean, sovereign wealth funds are definitely exposed to Bitcoin's price action right now, just in investments, right? So sovereign wealth funds, such as the Norwegian sovereign wealth fund holds Tesla, et cetera, so they are exposed to Bitcoin's price action in one way or the other. So, and once again, game theory, one person adopts it, the other competitors will have to adopt it as well. And we just saw Tesla make it possible for Bitcoiners to buy Teslas in Bitcoin, right? So he's adding it to his balance sheet just by natural accumulation through letting people buy Teslas in Bitcoin, right? I mean, he might be liquidating that Bitcoin on the back end, but I highly doubt it. He might be doing some type of percentage play on that. But anyways, that's beside the point. Let's watch Michael Saylor. Absolutely, he doesn't wreck this. He just makes a good point, right? He makes a lot of good points in this video. Let's listen in.
And you've said that you didn't buy the Bitcoin to sell it. But would MicroStrategy ever take some off the table when you sense the market is at a top and then just buy in later when there's another correction? Or do you just plan to hodl through all the cycles, and weather those, whatever 80% downturns when the crypto markets are in a bear market?
Yeah, again, I just disagree with your characterization. I don't expect an 80% downturn. I don't think it's a speculative asset, and I don't think you can quote unquote take money off the table. You're speaking like a crypto trader right now, right?
So ask yourself, are you a crypto trader or a crypto investor? Are you short-term speculating on price action, or are you a long-term believer in the Bitcoin's technology and blockchain technology, right? And blockchain or Bitcoin's narrative, right, as a store of value? Ask yourself that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're doing it just to represent their interest, but I don't see the world that way. I think that Bitcoin is sound money. It's the technically superior asset class compared to the dollar, the euro, the peso, the bolivar, compared to a stock index, compared to gold, compared to silver, compared to everything you can conceivably buy. It is technically, thermodynamically superior as an asset. So when you say things like that to me, and maybe you just do it.
Listen to what he has to say next. This is absolutely insane. I love it so much.
Just to see what I'll say back. I just imagine you preaching to me in Argentina while you're asking me if I'm going to sell the dollars and buy pesos back again as the peso sleeps from 20 to the dollar to 40 to the dollar to 80 to the dollar. Or if we're in, Venezuela. I mean, you think a Venezuelan company is going to quote unquote take some money off the table by selling their US stocks and their US dollars to buy back into local currencies. Or then, in Zimbabwe, you think they would take money off the table, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right.
It's going up forever. So a lot of people denominate Bitcoin and saying, hey, it's 60,000 US dollars. Well, guess what? Once you realize one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin and one Satoshi equals one Satoshi, you don't ever worry about the price of Bitcoin ever again, guys. Personally, I don't really worry about price action or what Bitcoin's dollar denomination is or the valuation of Bitcoin. Why? Because I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, if it goes, it will. The only way it would ever go down in value long term is if it fails, right? So you believe it's going to continue to appreciate throughout time, or you believe it's going to fail. It's not. It's one or the other. It's a binary option, guys. And place your bets where you want. And I'm sure you're watching this, so I'm sure you're invested in the long term success of Bitcoin. Anyways, I mean, just so much media attention for Bitcoin all over the place. For example, let's listen into this little interview.
You could talk to that guy, 28 years old, making his UFC debut. Any advice for him? Anything you tell him?
Bitcoins, bro. Invest in Bitcoin.
Invest in Bitcoins, bro. Invest in Bitcoin. Just at a random UFC, well, not a random, one of the premier fights that night. During the after fight interview, buy Bitcoins. It's literally everywhere. So many podcasts. For an example, Lex Fridman had Pomp on just the other day. Pomp's been on a lot of podcasts lately. Just a lot of. I love Lex Fridman's podcast. He has a lot of empathy, and I admire him greatly. He's very smart and very neutral, and tries to kind of be unbiased in his viewpoint when talking to guests. I love it so much. And one of my favorite podcasts ever was when Lex Fridman and Vitalik Buterin had a podcast together a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it was just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite podcasts of all time was that. And I loved it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it for sure. But anyways, Pomp has been on Flagrant too. I mean, they literally been on everything, guys. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Valuetainment's talking about Bitcoin, NFTs, and crypto space as a whole is on every single day on some type of media content. It's absolutely insane. Just non crypto specific media content, right? Like these podcasts. And also next, Joe Rogan is going to have Pomp on, guys. I mean, it's a rumor right now, but I do think Joe Rogan is going to have on some type of cryptocurrency influencer or some type, maybe NFT influencer. And also Beeple was on Valuetainments. Like Beeple, first of all, Beeple sold all his Ethereum to cash. I did not like that. I think Beeple's artwork just went down in value on that aspect alone when he liquidated his Ethereum position for cash. Bad decision on his part. But anyways, that's beside the point. Let's talk about more inflation. It's been weeks since the 1.9 trillion COVID bill was passed. They're already planning a $3 trillion infrastructure bill and now another COVID bill. The money printer never stops. 100% agree with Russ. He's the Panther O lineman that got half his paycheck in Bitcoin through Strike, right? I agree with him 100%. The only option the U.S. government has is to continue to inflate the currency because they are so far in debt, they have no other option to pay off their debt other than inflate their currency. So basically, their debt is less valuable, right? So yeah, that's what's going to happen, and they're going to continue to inflate the currency. I mean, all the politicians only have short-term consequences on their mind, and they only have the short-term perspective of the United States in mind, right? So long-term, no politician goes in there and says, oh, I want the best for the United States 100 years down the road. Oh, I want the best for the United States 4 years down the road, and that requires a bunch of spending on my part. So no matter what, politicians are incentivized to spend, leading us right directly into the Bitcoin narrative. Anyways, let's move forward into a little negative aspect that I do agree in the short-term price action of Bitcoin could bring some negative price action. And let's listen closely to this.
Turning a positive number. What you're saying is bullcrap. Some people don't believe me when I tell them that the spike in 10-year Treasury yields will cause Bitcoins and the stock market to crash. Now, they're saying make a real call. When will it happen? And what's the number it's going to happen at? Okay, I'm going to give you a very specific number today. 2.149%. That's the specific level that the US 10-year Treasury yields will need to get to when the market tanks. How do we arrive at this number? It was Goldman Sachs China's department. So this is an internal report, and a couple of weeks ago they were working with a yield return rate about 1.4% on the 10-year Treasury yields. Anyone holding that US Treasury would be losing real terms 0.7% because the inflation they assume is around 2.15% they predict for this year. 10-year Treasury yields get to about 2.149. That's when Treasury yields will actually be returning a positive number after inflation for all your Bitcoin and stock market investors. Later on in the year, when Treasury yields hit 2.15, watch out. What you're saying?
I 100% agree with him. Bitcoin and the stock market are correlated, so watch out. And Treasury yields, when they go up, the market stagnates. Why? Because money's less free. I mean, obviously, when the money's free, people have a very low barrier to say, hey, I want to invest in this. Hey, I want to take out a loan to do X, Y, and Z. But as the interest rates go up for the 10-year Treasury yield, I mean, people are second guessing on taking out that loan, etc., etc. So once again, 10-year Treasury yields go up, the economy stagnates, and Bitcoin is connected. Bitcoin is correlated with the stock market. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Currently, the 10-year Treasury note is 1.671%, and if we go back to, like, say, let's go 3 years. Let's look 3 years in the past, guys, because it just notes how, and we even could go all. If we go all, you kind of see how we've been trending downwards since 08, right? So, I mean, the Treasury, the Federal Reserve have been suppressing interest rates just so they continue to basically make the economy go up. Goes into the short-term perspective of politicians have their only incentives is to create short-term positive sentiment within the American people, and the way to do that is to have a strong economy, and the way to have a strong economy in the short term is to spend and make infrastructure bills, etc., right? And that only can last so long. It really can, until you exponentially devalue the United States dollar. That's what's going to happen, guys. It's just a matter of time. Remember, every every mayor and every taxi cab commissioner tried to stop Uber, but 50 million Americans wanted it, and now we have it. It's going to be the same thing with crypto, says Brian Brooks. Let's listen in. This is the most amazing comment I've heard for a while, and just listen in.
Be back. This is the $1 trillion question. Can you fight City Hall? That's what scares. Can you fight City Hall? If Yellen and Powell decide that this is not kosher, not going to be something we accept, can they stop it, or is it already too big and too powerful and too
hey Joe, you can
decentralized?
You can absolutely fight City Hall. Remember, every mayor and every taxi cab commissioner in America tried to stop Uber, but 50 million Americans wanted it, and now we have it. It's going to be the same thing with crypto.
Boom. Same thing with crypto. 100%. You cannot stop innovation in it. If you try to stifle it, unfortunately, your country will suffer, like such as India and other countries that are trying to ban crypto because of corporate scums and elitists that are trying to keep their bags of wealth instead of just embracing innovation. Their countries are going to suffer, and if the United States decide to stifle innovation by outlawing crypto and blockchain technology, the United States is going to hurt very, very badly economically versus other countries. It's just plain and simple, guys. Plain and simple. Anyways, let's go right into Ethereum. So that is the Bitcoin portion of today for news. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum's price action, pretty much following the same thing as Bitcoin. Once again, Ethereum follows the whole market follows Bitcoin. So this is very normal stuff. It looks okay. It definitely could be a bullish flag, a bullish continuation pattern. I would like to see the 20-week moving average come up and touch Ethereum, and hopefully Ethereum uses it as support. And I don't think we've seen the big blow off top for Ethereum. I do think we could reach $5,000 for Ethereum, and that's what I'm playing. I'm not playing 10,000. I am playing 5,000. Obviously, I'm a long-term believer in Ethereum as well. I mean, Ethereum is always expanding. For example, look at all these applications. This is only a part of Ethereum's ecosystem, guys. I mean, look at all these DeFi applications. I've used a lot of these. Aave, Synthetics, Sushi, Uniswap v3 coming out, MakerDAO, the Treasury of DeFi. I mean, Compound, UMA, etc., etc. I could go on for days, guys, but this ecosystem is amazing. There's no halting interacting with these protocols. I mean, nobody can stop you interacting with these protocols. It's absolutely amazing, and I love Ethereum's ecosystem. Obviously, gas fees are a problem, but they will be solved with time. And now let's move. Ethereum development activity continued to rise. So network effects is what differentiates every blockchain. If people come at you and say, hey, this blockchain has more TPS, well, guess what? If nobody's using it, TPS does not matter, guys. The only key data that really matters is people that are using it, the number of people that actively using the blockchain, as well as the developers that are building on top of the blockchain, right? Such as, look at this, all-time highs for development increasing, right? Ethereum is the GOAT for smart contract blockchains, and we are continuing to wait on Cardano and Polkadot to show their real potential by implementing smart contracts, right? What if DeFi can cancel the next bear market? Been a quiet thesis of mine for a little while, but don't want to make too much noise about it for obvious reasons. I think it's more likely we just get faster bull/bear cycles. I agree that I think this bear cycle will be suppressed because people want to. There's so much utility and people want to use it, especially if gas fees are low. DeFi is literally a cheat code for life. When you can earn 25% yield on your appreciating asset, holy smokes, guys, it's next level. It's next level. People that learn how to use DeFi, I mean, they're way ahead of the game. They're way ahead of the game among their peers. And don't be left behind. Learn DeFi. Learn how to utilize it. Use Binance Chain if you need to. Just understand it's centralized and you're at risk of losing all your money by Binance just saying, hey, I don't like you, right? But, I mean, it is what it is. You learn about it, and then eventually you unlock that cheat code. And hopefully here at Dingooo Crypto, we can kind of help you explain and learn about DeFi. And I do explain DeFi a little bit like Joe Biden right here.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway. So the best.
Okay. No matter what you think, this is funny, guys. I can't believe this is the representation of the United States. Our choices for president this last election is absolutely terrible, guys. It's sad, and somehow I think it's an upgrade over the previous administration. It's much better to laugh than cry. I totally agree, guys. Oh my God. But it's kind of embarrassing. I am embarrassed for Joe Biden in the United States. And because he just can't talk, and every other leader around the world will literally take advantage of Joe Biden, and he is unfortunately a pushover. He's a pretty nice guy, but I don't think he's very objectively. You lose mental capability and mental capacity when you age, and unfortunately he's older, and he's not as on it as he used to be. It's blatantly obvious, guys. But anyways, let's move on to Saturday Night Live talking about NFTs. Let's listen in. Action. You know who else is getting in on the NFT action? The Weeknd. The Weeknd, guys. I love The Weeknd. Great music for sure. And they're creating a new song that's living in the NFT space. I'm extremely curious on what this means. I mean, it's just basically a song, NFT song, right? And you can purchase it, and I wonder how much that's going to go for, because that's going to go for a pretty price tag for sure. Anyways, let's move on to subscribe. Yep, subscribe to Dingooo Crypto. We have been growing a great community for sure. We focus on actual education rather than shilling like a lot of other channels. Join the Discord if you would like. I mean, great community for sure. We help each other out when we need to. Follow Dingooo Crypto on Twitter. All the things are in the description. Go ahead and click again, and just sub and follow and like this video. I really do appreciate it. Now on to altcoins. First, we're going to talk about DENT, because I want to show you guys something. Guys. This is back in 2017, okay? Okay, look at this pump, and then look at this dump. A lot of these projects are going to do the exact same thing this cycle. Exact same. Look at it. Absolutely dead. Dead. And now it comes back to life, guys. And you look at their website. I mean, they have an application. I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. You do your own research, but I'm just saying, what if a project comes back to life like this, right? What are you doing? Why are you investing in a project that all of a sudden that hasn't changed in 5 years, and now all of a sudden you want to invest in it? Do your due diligence. Don't be investing in projects that have been non-existent for years, and now it comes back to life. I mean, there's going to be many projects like this, and just be careful out there. A lot of these projects don't make much sense. And EOS, like in 2017, I remind you, EOS is literally a smart contract blockchain, and it's live, and nobody's building on it. Why? Because nobody wants to build on it, and there's a bunch of reasons, right? Why? Because there's no users of EOS, and people. I mean, developers build where people are utilizing decentralized application where money is, right? And that's all on Ethereum. And I do think Cardano is the EOS of this cycle. Seriously, it's the same exact narrative, but now with a dash of peer-reviewed and a cult of personality around a different egomaniac. And I'm telling you, Charles Hoskinson is an egomaniac. He thinks he's a god. And this is Chainlink God, right? Which is kind of ironic that I just called Charles a god when I'm talking about Chainlink God. But Chainlink God is a very credible person in the space. Go read his pin article on Chainlink. It will change your mind about Chainlink. I mean, he's a very smart person when it comes to crypto and blockchain for sure. And he says that about Cardano, right? Cardano is going to be EOS for sure. Anyways, This guy says something that I totally agree with for Cardano as well. It's the fundamental video for Cardano I'm waiting for. Please get the phrase. Having been sacked from every project other than its own doesn't mean Charles Hoskinson is difficult to work with or is untrustworthy, right? So Charles Hoskinson has been kicked from the Ethereum Foundation. Everybody says he's one of the Ethereum founders. Yeah, okay. He outsources his code, brother. He outsources his code. He doesn't even write his own code. He's not a developer. He's a mathematician. He's a mathematician and a social media influencer. That's what he is, and that's what you're investing in. He is the head of a cult, and that is the Cardano cult. And you can never not build something on your own and expect it to become your vision, right? So, for example, Vitalik Buterin is one of the best developers in the world, and he created Ethereum. Gavin Wood wrote Solidity. He created a whole coding language, and he's now building DOT, right? Those two people are exponentially better than Charles Hoskinson in every single way. That's why I'm a big believer in Ethereum and DOT rather than Cardano. Now let's talk about BadgerDAO, a DeFi application for Bitcoin vaults. And they're partnering with a lot of people, and the price has been going down significantly lately. And I do think I'm going to be taking a position in BadgerDAO here shortly. I mean, great stuff coming out of it. A bunch of vaults, and vaults are actual utility, guys. Vaults are strategic strategies to optimize yield, and they're partnered with Yearn. They're partnered with Rari Capital. A lot of exciting stuff happening with Badger. I love their founder, Spudaboom or something like that. He's a great guy. I listened to a couple of his podcasts. He seems like a very down-to-earth person. And also Whiteheart, they're coming out with their protocol here shortly, and Whiteheart's supposed to have cash flows, tangible cash flows, fees associated with options trading on Ethereum. So very, very exciting for that for sure. And we will see what will happen with Whiteheart. And lastly, Chainx. So I do want to bring up something interesting with Chainx, because they have the same tokenomics as Bitcoin, which is very interesting, and I would not usually like that. It seems like kind of a copy and paste of Bitcoin, but Chainx is going to be a bridge for Bitcoin onto the Polkadot network. It's going to be a Polkadot parachain, close ties with Gavin Wood, the founder of Chainx, close ties with Gavin Wood, which is the founder of Polkadot, and Chainx has been working hard, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this the Chainx halvening goes, which is happening in 68 days. It's the same economic kind of idea of Bitcoin, except Chainx is a proof of stake token, right? And you can see kind of it's been going up significantly lately. I have been staking it for a while. I made a video on Chainx a long time ago, right? And it's looking very nice. And I do think the Chainx halvening will have price implications to help Chainx go up in price. So only time will tell, though, and I guess we'll find out. So next, let's talk about Rally.io and our community rewards. We have been earning a lot of community rewards. Basically, me as a creator gets the community rewards to do what I please, but also there's creator limit. So I can't. I mean I wouldn't, but I physically cannot even cash out if I wanted to. A very big amount of money, right? So I mean, this is going back in and basically increasing the floor price of the Dingooo token, right? So very interesting stuff. And I mean, 98 backers, total, I mean, great stuff for sure, and exciting things to come for the Dingooo community. Website out late this week or early next week. My website's going to be dope. I mean, my team is absolutely amazing. I'm super excited. And I mean, surround yourself with smart people. That's all I gotta say. Surround yourself with smart people. Every person I surround myself with is way smarter than I am, and it's absolutely insane. But anyways, do KYC, explain community rewards. So do KYC. Do KYC. Know your customers. You have to bridge out of Rally to get your money, right? So do KYC, because these return. I mean, my token's up 40% today. DeFi degens or just degens, crypto degens will notice these returns, and you have to do KYC to get your money out of Rally, because it's in the United States, and it's actually trying to comply with regulations. So next is creating a lower and higher Dingo VIP chat. So I'm lowering the Dingo VIP to currently need 50 Dingles to participate. Now it's only going to be 5 and 10, so I'm doing that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and I'm going to have two tiers, 5 Dingles and 10 Dingle tokens to participate. More competition soon, free money. So right now I only have a March Madness competition, and the winner of that basically gets 50 Dingle tokens, which is currently sitting around $350. So that's pretty. 300. No. Sorry, it's sitting around $200. So $200, guys. That's pretty good. That's pretty good just by participating in the community, doing the competitions, etc., etc. So very fun stuff in the community. I might do like a game show, like a trivia night. That would be a lot of fun. So make sure you go ahead and join the Dingle VIP. Go watch my Dingle airdrop video. All the instructions are in there for sure. So go ahead and go watch that if you want to join. And now let's watch some World War II videos. So American paratroopers getting ready for D-Day. They're bad asses, and I admire them greatly. They cut their hair with mohawks because they're bad asses. They're sappers. They're the engineering battalion, and their sappers are badass. They literally go. They're engineers. Engineers in the military Engineers in the military are badasses. They're on the front lines creating infrastructure that the frontline soldiers need, right? So they're badass. And now let's listen to a little motivation for your Monday morning.
I said earlier, life is really a single player game. It's all going on in your head. Whatever you think you believe will very much shape your reality, both from what risks you take and what actions you perform, but also just your everyday experience of reality. If you're walking down the street and you're judging everyone, you're like, I don't like that person because their skin color, I don't like that oh, she's not attractive, that guy's fat, this person's a loser, oh, who put this in my way, the more you judge, the more you're going to separate yourself, and you'll feel good for an instant because you'll feel good about yourself. I'm better than that. But then you're going to feel lonely, and then you're just going to see negativity everywhere. The world just reflects your own feelings back at you. Reality is neutral. Reality has no judgments. To a tree, there's no constant, even despite.
The more you judge people, the more lonely you become. Sympathy and empathy are top priority. Don't judge. Have sympathy. And that is all, Dingoos. I hope you enjoyed this this longer video. If you're watching the shorter segments, I hope you enjoyed that as well. Peace out, Dingoos, and dingle dingle.